I'm gonna drop this nugget on y'all. Something I learned over the years. Look, I'd have rolled my window down. Say, hey, you want to work? Hey man, come work with me, man. I got Doran's grips. I got speed feed bump heads. I have no guards on my trimmer. I have free Powerade, free water, and I don't kill my hair. Flip. But anyway, look, this is something I learned over the years, man. Just owning and operating a business, a AKA job. Hold on. Golly, woman. Okay, no rush. Just wanted to make sure the property I manage isn't a problem. It's supposed to be an active HOA in this neighborhood, but looking at the surrounding properties, it doesn't look like they are ticketing people anymore. Boy, listen here. Listen here. When I get over there to that new property, it's a new property I'm going to go cut for a real estate agent. I'm going to be honest. I've only worked with 2 real estate agents that stand on business. I worked for a white lady. She only sold like $600,000, $1 million. Man, I got somebody calling me right now on the picture. All right, y'all, I just got off the phone with that person. They had called in. They had an acre they wanted cut. This is what they explained to me. They said, yeah, we trying to find somebody to cut our yard. They give you the whole spiel. They of age now. They got to have served, blah, blah. My husband, it wears them out cutting the grass, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, y'all know y'all better let me over. You better let me over in your Buick. So anyway, I looked at the property on Google Maps, and I'm glad she asked this question so I don't have to waste time. She said, what do y'all charge per acre? And I told her we charge 200 acres. But this is what she said before she asked that question. She said, my property is pretty much flat, but I have a bunch of weed eating. She said, I have weed eating inside of a chicken coop. I have weed eating inside of a goat pen that you cannot get a mower in. So that tells me right there, that's already overgrown. So then she said, what y'all charge per, I said, well, yes, ma'am, I just got to come look at it. She said, what y'all charge per acre? I said, we normally around, I said, it's hard to give an estimate over the phone. I said, but we normally around 200 an acre. And she was like, oh, nah, he ain't going to go for that. We can't afford that. And that was it. I'm glad she asked that question that way. Neither one of us had to waste our time. But anyway, like I was saying, I've worked for three real estate agents since I've been in business, and I've always been stay away from them because they don't want to pay. First guy I worked for called me to look at a property, and this what made me learn this. Oh yeah, I need this property cut, blah blah. I run over there, cut the property, send them the invoice. Well, I'm gonna send this up to corporate. It took this dude like a month to give me $70. So I had another lady call me. I didn't find out she was a real estate agent until she called me because one of the properties she was selling, I was maintaining the property for my client, and she liked how I kept everything tight and neat and on schedule. So she called me to come and maintain her property, and her property was a $10,000 a year property. And I remember when I went out and met her, she asked me, she said, do you do this full time or you do it part time? She said, because a guy I have, he do it kind of part time, he's unreliable. And I was just straight up with her. I said, I do this part time. I said, but within a year or two, I'm going to be going full time. I take this real serious. She said, well, if you serious, I'm serious, and I'm also a realtor, and I can give you other properties. Red flag went up. I said, man, I don't deal with y'all realtors. So I ended up doing her property, and she would call me. Hey, I got a client, because I had done a big landscape job for her. So she would call me, and she'd be like, hey, I got a client that's about to put the house on the market. We need you to freshen the beds up. So I go over there, put in a bid on, and like I say, she's only selling $500,000 house on up. So the first time she called me to do a landscape, and I ended up doing, it was like a $3,800 job. And the guy called me, yeah, I'm working with such and such realtor. She said I need to call you to get some landscaping. So I gave him the price. He was like, let's do it. And then she would tell them, hey, let him maintain this property weekly until we sell it. And I would always do that. She was always a good client. So, and I was a white lady. And the first dude that screwed me was a white guy. So then the black lady, it's a black lady right now I'm doing business with. She's a realtor. She stand on business. Like when she called me to do a property, she paying me out her pocket and the company reimburse her. Well, she just hit me up saying, hey, I got this house getting ready to rent out. I'm trying to see if if I can go ahead and get it cut. And I just explained to her, I said, I really don't have a Monday through Thursday morning schedule, but since I'm already doing business with you, I can come and take care of the property for you. In the future, it's not always gonna be like this where I'm available to just come right away. So, and I'm gonna maintain that, but this is what she was telling me. She said, this property is in the HOA, and they normally ticket people for not having the grass cut. She said, but everybody's yard over here is overgrown. Like, listen, wait till I get over there. As soon as I get over, I'm fixing to go. Right now, I'm going to take care of some business. After I take care of some business, I got 2 properties to cut. And it's all in that area. I'm going to cut them 2 properties, drive 5 minutes the other way. I'm going to go cut that new property she got. Listen here. Boy, that thing hard, boy. Boy got some paper. So look, I'm going, hey, open up this door. I'm with the HO. Look at what I'm going to say. Yeah, can we help you? How you doing? I'm Gibson Salon Service. I'm working with the HOA. They want me to go around and talk to everybody about getting their lawn cut. I don't know when, but I think they're going to be ticketing people. If you want while I'm here, I can go ahead and get the property in shape for you. See, the grass is overgrown, the edges need to be in shape, so I can go ahead and get that in shape for you for $100. If you don't want me to edge, I can just cut the grass where you even go for $70. Oh, is the HOA serious? I don't know. I was just contacted by them to go around to everybody in the subdivision to knock on the door and let them know what's going on. And I don't know how you guys do it, but each HOA is different. Well, how can we pay you? Oh, you can pay me right now online. You want to get on the schedule? Yeah, you want to get on the schedule? Yeah, I'm a businessman.